Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show with your hosts Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats. Brought to you in full color and stereo sound with amplification provided by Trainer. Broadcasting into the world from Storyhouse Studios in Campbellford, Ontario, you'll hear the best in old country, folk, Americana, punk rock, and 80s music delivered into your homes every week for free. And don't forget your regular dose of new and original songs from Music for Goats. Never be alone on a Wednesday night again, 8 p.m. Eastern and 9:30 for those of you in Newfoundland. Join the Whiskey Wednesday regulars on Facebook to be a part of the conversation, or watch on YouTube as well. Pour a drink, a cup of tea, or a nice cold long tooth. Roll up your best smoke and sit back and relax. Don't forget to hit the share button to help spread the word. The Whiskey Wednesday Show, every week. Cheers.
Cool. Can you hear my voices, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening. Just checking out the tuning on this guitar here. I did put new strings on it a while back. I can't remember. I was saying for months I was going to put new strings on it. And when did I put them on? Do you remember?
A couple weeks ago.
Was it before the Edibles show? Might have been before Edibles, yeah. I think it probably was, which was a lot of fun, Edibles. I can remember it now with a fondness. While it was happening, it seemed I was so tired. And just, really kind of, I'd traveled, I'd been to Calgary for a very interesting time that someday I will talk about. And Neil had been traveling with me, and he was wired for sound as well. And Mr. Grant, you were groovy, you were full of poutine chicken, and you were just like, oh man, what a great day to be live.
Top of the world.
Just walked over the bridge. Barry was there most of the day helping out, so he was kind of fried too, but it was a real surreal moment. But looking back, it was a lot of fun. It was an awful lot of fun. Who do we got? We got Ron, Richard, Tony. Nice to see you all. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Derek. Was it Derek who won the I'm trying to remember now. No, it was Jordan Tupper. I can't remember. Was it Jordan or Derek? I emailed one of you today and said you won the shirt. I can't remember who it was. Damn.
Richard, it's not bad in here tonight, actually, for some reason. Maybe it's the fact I don't have a shirt and tie on, but...
It is strange, though. It isn't as bad here as it has been, and it seems to be really hot everywhere else. I'm okay with that. The whiskey is a nice temperature. The new whiskey is a nice temperature. We're all here together. We're going to have some fun. You're all going to have some fun. I'm going to talk about some things that happened and some things that never, ever existed, and you won't know what's what, and I'm really always happy with that at the end of the night. Look back on the tales I've told and think about how many lies I've woven into truths. My sister was here yesterday. That was nice to see. Let's do Cherokee and the King is Gone. It was pointed out last week that we haven't done this in a while. One, two. Last night I broke the seal on a Jim Beam decanter that looked like Elvis. Soaked the label off a Flintstone jelly bean jar. I cleared us off a place on that one little table that you left me. Pulled me up a big old piece of floor. I
Elvis. I feel Fred up to his pelvis. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone and so are you. Hey, Andy Johnson, hope you guys are doing well down there. Round about 10 we all got to talking about bedrock, Graceland and such. The conversation finally turned to women. They said they didn't get around that much. Hey, Aunt Betty. And Elvis said, fine and young. And Fred said, well, old-fashioned girls are fun. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone and so are you. Later on it finally hit me that you wouldn't be coming back no more. This time I know you wouldn't forgive me. Like all of them other times before. And I broke Elvis's nose, pouring the last drops from his toes. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone and so are you. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone and so are you. Yabba dabba doo, the king is gone and so are you. Oh, there you go. Little George Jones to start off the night for you. I'm gonna take it from George Jones all the way back home to Newfoundland. Oh, what a crazy week it's been. We've done so much. I've done so much traveling and shows with not traveling too far, and working over at West Bend, helping them with some stuff on and off. Presenting some of the shows there, and also, you know, sort of meeting with old friends. I've had a bunch of people in town that have dropped by to hang out. It's been an amazing couple of weeks. You know, sort of just what a great blessing to have all these people be able to come to town and hang out and see so many great acts at West Bend. You know, Julian Taylor was there the other night. Eve Parker Finley, we went to that one last week, and the William Prince show was amazing. Of course, Susie, which I talked about before, was great. I've spoke to all these artists as well about coming on the show, and they'll all be on before the end of the summer. William did come by and hang out and recorded some stuff, and it just sounds amazing. Julie and I caught some stuff at the campfire. It looks and sounds beautiful. It really sort of captures the essence of West Bend. So I'm looking forward to bringing these people here to see you. But tonight we got some local guests, Jane Arch from the Reactionaries, and they have a lineup change, which is, you know, all seems to be very cohesive. You're going to see who that's all about, and it's an exciting new member. Not that the old member wasn't exciting, but it's nice to have somebody equally as exciting. You're going to hear all about that shortly. But before we do that, I'm just going to get ready here and play a song called Home. I did have a chance to, I opened up for West Bend at West Bend. I opened up for William at West Bend. And they have the new Willow Hill stage set up at West Bend, and it is a natural amphitheater made of a rolling grass hill surrounded by trees, and it just creates this beautiful little bowl of natural, beautiful acoustics. And Andy Thompson over there, who's a really, really intelligent sound man and sound designer. He's so much more than that, but for the purposes of what I'm talking about, the PA that he put in there works so well in the environment. Everything sounds great. You can hear the wind in the trees at the same time as you can hear the kick drum and the vocal, depending on what band is playing. It's just an amazing mix, and they do a wonderful job over there. But when I opened for William, I was trying to think of what song would put me in the best mood for this little set while I was getting prepared to watch one of my favorite new artists of the last, sort of 5 or 10 years. And I decided I'd play this song, so I'll play it for you all tonight. I hope everybody's doing well. City Harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind. But you can't walk out on that dock and stand beside the sea-torn freighters. Sense those stories of the lies that live within. You can't have it the way it was. I have to take it as it is. Those times have changed, those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgot. You can't stop the winds of change. Forever in your mind, self-same. Oh, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone. The memories cast in stone. And I know I'm not alone. And it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. The deepest ties you'll ever know, right here at home. Down Water Street, the storefronts changed a few blocks north. Who'd ever blame? Fight against this hurt and change and waiting game. How many words can twist and burn like spark to hay? No further down this hurting old time road we'll stray. I have to take it as it is. Those times have changed, those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgotten. You can't stop the winds of change. Forever in your mind, self-same. Oh, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone. Memories cast in stone. And I know I'm not alone. And it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. Deepest ties you'll ever know. It's so bad to let you go. And I thought that I just came to say hello to this place called home. The City Harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind. Oh, Kristen Ormston tuning in from northern BC tonight. Oh, that's fantastic. What a great place to be. I bet the bugs are good up there right now. Well, it's nice to have you here, Kristen. And Sherry's here as well. Hey, Sherry, down in Florida. I hope you guys are all doing well. Looks like we've got another great crowd here tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Allison is doing really well. For those of you who are wondering, we haven't done an update in a while, and we decided that we're going to do one soon because there's been significant changes that to the outside eye it would seem like nothing, but to us here at the house, when she can kind of help herself to stand up, and her feet don't sort of get weird underneath her, like that's a success. Whereas that was impossible, months back. So there's all these little tiny things, but we are going to do an update soon because it's all really positive, and we're having a great time here. And Allison is, in fact, doing a whole lot of behind-the-scenes stuff for the Whiskey Wednesday show, and she's also really big on doing a bunch of, information. She calls them vision boards, which are like just sort of little captured moments of photos and words. And she's doing the newsletter and stuff, and it's really cool. It's sort of got our whole family involved in it at this point, which is, for whatever better or worse is, it's what it is. And it's a really neat thing. So if you want to join the mailing list, just send me a message or go to the website and sign it, and you'll get Allison's sort of 20-page thing once a month. Once a month, she sends out like this 20-page thing to everybody who's been on the show, what they sang, who was on what week, what Mr. Grant was playing for the bass, what everybody was wearing. She's got it all. It's amazing. I'm going to drop a little Ron Hines on you there, ladies and gentlemen. He was sitting on the stairway, my heart filled up with dread. His hands were clenched, his clothes were drenched. I knew that he was dead. And I turned away a moment, and when I looked back, he was gone. And I went and awoke my mother. I said, "Mother, something's wrong. Something's wrong." He was here before a moment. Those were the words she spoke. I thought that I was dreaming, but it was an hour ago I woke, and I swear I heard him call her his name, and a horrid grinding sound. I fear my dear has lost his way. His ship has run aground. It's run aground. Go down and wake your brother and your baby sister too. There's nothing now but what's occurred, but say I have things to do. There's a shortwave radio up the cove for ship-to-shore distress. Go down and make some breakfast, and I'll get up and get your rest. The dawn was fairly breaking as she headed down the path where the waters crashed across the rocks with all its rage and wrath. Her heart had gone to ashes and her eyes chewed through her bones, and her footsteps felt like granite as she came back home alone. She stood inside the doorway as she turned towards the cove. She took down the blessed crucifix and she burned it in the stove. And we all stood in the kitchen like travelers in the rain, waiting on some distant platform to aboard some lonely tree. Well, that was 60 years ago, and my mother's in the ground. My brother and sister moved away, left me the house and the land. And I sell my socks and sweaters to the chorus from away. There's a monthly old age pension, and it keeps the wolf at bay. And I count the days. And when the night comes stealing, he drifts in on the mist. He sits quietly there at his rocking chair so he don't disturb my rest. And when I wake with morning light, he's gone to sea once more. Go downstairs and light the stove, mop salt water from the floor. Mop salt water from the floor. Nicely done, boys. Little Ron Hines, their narrative called My Father's Ghost. I'm going to swing over to YouTube here. And, oh, man, I'm so excited. Barry, are you excited?
I'm excited.
You're excited. I'm excited, man. I'm very excited. YouTube is where I am. Oh, look, there we are.
You
I see the
excited, kid?
live thing. No, now it's playing Don't Think Twice. See, I'm so bad with this stuff. I don't want to do that. I want to watch the live stream. There it is. Oh, now I hear myself. Okay, now that we have an excellent feedback loop happening and you've been watching me work my computer for at least 40 seconds, I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jane Archer and the Reactionaries. Barry, whenever you're ready, use cross.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have here today with us the Reactionaries. And the Reactionaries, for those of you who don't know, maybe you can all introduce yourselves, starting over here with David.
Hi, I'm David Fry, Jane's nephew.
Oh, Jane's nephew.
Hi, I'm Jane Archer. This is my nephew Dave.
That's your nephew David. Very cool. And who do we have over here? Who's this young lady guitar player?
I'm Emily Burgess. I'm not Jane's niece, but I'm a friend of Jane's and Dave's. So,
That's right.
That's right.
Excellent. So we've got Emily, Jane, and David. This is the new lineup for the band, as it would be right now?
Currently, right now, yep. We're just kind of going one step at a time.
Exactly.
Getting ready for a show, and then getting ready for a CD, and then hopefully doing a couple of really good gigs, and we'll see where it goes from there.
How happy were you with the last record?
Extremely happy.
It did pretty well, eh?
It did, right? Right now we've had about 1,600,000 streams.
Wow.
wow.
And we're actually getting money every month.
Good. Well, I'm glad I transferred that back into your account.
Otherwise you wouldn't be getting it.
I think we sort of hit that limit where it's like, oh, there's reactionary money coming in every month now. I better sort of put that back over to them.
Yeah,
It took a
never
while to
thought.
get there, but you've got a little bit of money coming in every way. It's I know it's not a lot, but it's more than most people are making in the music world. We all have music friends, and to get a couple $100 every month is pretty fucking amazing from royalties.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even for larger bands. Trust me, that is an amazing thing. And
Yeah.
these things help. They help to grow. They help to these numbers show that you have actual fans. And these actual fans are, they'll translate into ticket sales when you play concerts. And
Yes.
That's amazing.
Our first song is written in 1947 by the Buchanan Brothers, and it's called There's a Power Greater Than Atomic.
Men may talk about his power and his will to have his way, how he can take the lives of men and rule them all someday. There's one thing he's forgetting in this great plan he has made, how God gave him everything and everything can take. There's a power greater than atomic, it's a power of the one that sits on high. He strikes us with his mighty power, not just some, but everyone must die. rocks within the mountains will melt at his command. So when you're planning power that will sweep away the sod, don't forget there is no power to equal that of God. So power greater than atomic, it's a power of the one that sits on high. He strikes us with his mighty power, not just some, but everyone must die. Of Bikini, great men came and plans were laid to prove to all the people what a power he had made. But after it was over, even through the blinding scene, the sea and sky unchanged should prove that God's supreme. There's a power greater than atomic, it's a power of the one that sits on high. If he strikes us with his mighty power, not just some, but everyone must die.
Yes.
Do you guys have any bluegrass concerts coming up over the summer, or is this something that you're looking to get into maybe next year?
Maybe next year. That's what we're thinking, because we're just learning new material for our next CD, which we're going to record with Booth Street Records, of course.
Absolutely, that'll be fun.
And so, yeah, and you know, the CD has been available since 2018, The Great Atomic Power, and it took a little while to pick up steam. But so we're not really in a hurry, and we kind of have the feeling that the music's pretty timeless.
Exactly.
It's lasted like 70 years now, and the same kind of political situation is going on. It just keeps going round and round, and these songs just
It really
buy
does.
right into it, you know?
It really does. It's,
Yeah.
Emily, you're new to the band. How does this all feel with you? Have you played any bluegrass before?
No, not really.
But you are known as a phenomenal guitar player. And
Oh,
you won so many of the blues awards.
Wow.
How does it feel to be switching genres and stuff?
It's fun. When this opportunity came up, I thought, I need a reason to play bluegrass, because I really do enjoy it. It's just never been something that there's always other things I have to do, and just having to do this is, and I love it. I really do. I'm learning a lot from these two.
Yeah, and there's a
Vice
Bill
versa.
Monroe anthology in Emily's car that we listened to on
Yeah.
the way over here. I think all of his recordings, or at least a lot of them anyway.
It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just...
Okay, our next song is by Fred Kirby, who wrote the song in 1950. And he did a lot to promote, the government's line in the Cold War, and became known after doing a bunch of shows as the Victory Cowboy. And this particular song is called When That Hell Bomb Falls.
Won't you listen, my dear brother, for it's time for us to gather. God is getting mighty angry for the sinful things we've done. He gave us all this blessed land, and this I cannot understand. A weapon of destruction to destroy us, everyone. When that hell bomb falls, when that hell bomb falls, they'll be screaming, dying, praying when that hell bomb falls. Yes, it happened in Korea, where our boys are bravely fighting for the peaceful way of life in our democracy. Have mercy on us, oh Lord, I pray, watch over them night and day. Keep praying for the whole world and your help to keep us free. When that hell bomb falls, when that hell bomb falls, they'll be screaming, dying, praying when that hell bomb falls. Fathers and the mothers, sisters, wives, and children, brothers are still weeping from their losses in the last war, cold and still. Have mercy and a helping hand, we know that you will understand. Save us from these heartaches if it be your blessed will. When that hell bomb falls, when that hell bomb falls, they'll be screaming, dying, praying when that hell bomb falls. They'll be screaming, dying, praying when
You guys have got to get down to IBMA. You've got to go just to meet these people and like walk down the hallways of those hotels and like be bumping into people like that, just like
Yeah.
really. And they've got
mind-blowing.
guitars, and it's just like, do you want to jam? Sure. And then before you know it, you're gonna, yeah, it's an amazing culture down there.
Oh, it sounds great.
Well, that's fantastic. So I'm going to ask you a question now that may or may not be edited depending on how you answer it or if you want to answer it. There has been the content of your material. There's a certain amount of tongue-in-cheek, and some of the material. Where do you fall on the political side of music, or do you?
Well, as we say, I think on our first album cover, when faced with the threat of self-inflicted nuclear annihilation, do you laugh or cry? And we say both. So we're having a laugh, but we're also pretty appalled that these songs are, the atom bomb is just as scary as ever, and we're under just as much threat as we ever were. And it's just, it's confounding when you think about it, because it's a dichotomy kind of that we play these songs, we hope that people understand there's irony involved, and but I know we have fans that believe these things and other fans that get it.
Right.
So it's a little scary, and we have one song in particular, Marty Robbins' Ain't I Right, that is getting a lot of play, and it is, I would be a little hesitant to play it at some shows depending on the makeup of the audience. So yeah, it is, it's edgy material, even though, it's so sweet sounding, it's bluegrass, the harmonies are lovely, so it's such a contradiction.
Well,
But that's the fun part. I think that's what people like.
Right. Yeah. The fun. There is a fun feeling to it. I listened to that first album that we had, the Great Atomic Power, and when you guys came in with that bunch of tunes, I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then I started hearing some of the history and the other side of it, and it was kind of like, okay. And there was a moment where I had to think, are we crossing a line doing this record or not? I've since gotten over that, of course. As
We've all asked ourselves that. Yeah.
But we had, I had to ask myself that. Whenever you do anything that's sort of topical or political, I had Ron Hawkins on the show a couple weeks ago, and he's a very political guy, and that was a different sort of thing. Hearing his attitude on how music and politics can, how you can use music to influence politics and stuff. I don't think that's what you guys are trying to do per se, but I think it seems to me like you're acknowledging the fact that nothing's really changed in 50 years.
Yeah.
We've come full circle once again, and it's probably more relevant than anything this particular week. But
we keep waiting for a call from the Trump campaign to come and play one of his events.
and,
what are they paying?
And how much money would that take?
Well, quite a bit. Yeah, that would really be putting yourself out there.
Oh my, yeah.
Cool. And I'm just typing. Well, you can read what I'm typing. Yeah, the temperature in the studio is perfect tonight. Just making a comment. It is nice. We've got the fan on. I know that gives you guys a little bit of throughout the microphones, but most of you are watching on iPads and computers, and you probably don't even have those frequencies in your speakers, so it's all good. But the temperature is nice tonight, and it's nice to see all the regulars here. Kevin Gregg, hello. How are you? Welcome to the show. Tony, good to see you, buddy. And all the regulars, What? I hate it when it does that. It says you have new messages and then it disappears. Okay, here. So great to see you on Friday, Ken. Much needed food for the soul. All hugs to Neil, one of the sweetest people. Neely. Hoping to see you both again soon. Hopefully with Alison included. Yeah, well, Alison keeps talking about going out. We were going to go to the Abba Mia thing this week, but it was too hot.
Hello to Terry, Lorna.
Yes. But that's all good. Aaron O'Mara, good to see you there, lady. How are you, my friend? How are things back home? This is a song called Over You. Goes just like this. Well, my heart. You've been untrue. I can't bear to spend another minute with you. Cold-hearted girl, you ruined my life. Now I'm moving on, won't stay to fight. I'm gonna pack my bags, take all that I can, get far away from you and your new old man. Well, I can't say when, but someday soon you'll see I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. For years I've tried to please. You had me on the go, you had me on my knees. Cold-hearted girl, you ruined my life. Now I'm moving on, I won't stay here to fight. I'm going on, I'm leaving you behind. I can't say that I'm happy, you treated me so unkind. Well, I can't say when, someday soon you'll see I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. Gonna all the friends that I had, the things that I love to do. You crushed all my dreams, now I'm leaving you. I can't say when, but someday soon you'll see I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. Yes, over you, under
I
me.
know, I made a minor mistake.
Did you make? You put a minor in?
I missed the
Yeah,
A minor.
I made-
That's the second time around.
I made the major mistake at one point. Played the major then the
I just tried
minor.
to throw both you guys off.
That's
Without
what it
actually
was.
playing any wrong.
And you succeeded, apparently.
Mentally, it's amazing the power of a bass player.
A new frets on the old days.
Yes,
It's a wonderful thing.
yes.
I think he switched these two. That's why I played the B flat instead of the C. 'cause
He switched the frets on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be a,
Mr. Grant has his
Space of less of a reach, right?
yeah. What year was his bass?
I believe it's a 72
And as a
Fender Jazz.
Neil, as a gift to Mr. Was it Mr. Grant's birthday or was this a Christmas? Yeah, it was a birthday gift for Mr. Grant from Neil. That he sent it to what was the guy's name in Peterborough?
Martin Bell.
Martin Bell in Peterborough. he did a spectacular job pulling out the old frets, refretting it. He didn't damage the purfling, or he redid it, whatever was damaged. He just did a spectacular job. Mr. Grant's got a bunch of notes he's never had before.
Yes.
So I know you've never been able to play those notes before. It's crazy.
Nice and clear. They used
Yeah.
to buzz every time I played it.
I remember I was doing a Watchmen rehearsal via Zoom a few months back, and I think you were borrowing my bass for some reason. For some reason, this was here, anyways, and I was doing it, and I just sort of grabbed it because mine was 2 feet further away. And we got to one of the parts at the end of the song, and I did one of those little things I do with the high and the no note combination slide thing at the end, and I sort of went up the neck and went, what? Sort of after the song, I kind of muted the guys, and I went, oh my God, there's no notes here.
And that's how I ended up with a new fret job.
Yeah. Well, I just never noticed it was that obvious before. So the thing sounds great. We're really happy for that. And another great new thing. Me and Allison celebrated another anniversary a day or so ago. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was. It was our 2700 years we've been married.
Probably just seems that long to Allison.
Well, to her, I'm sure. No, I think it's our 27th, and that's a long time to be. It's a long time to be with anybody, but
Especially with you, right? I thought we'd say.
I mean, I'm, yeah, exactly. That's what baffles me about it. Oh my. So anything new with anybody? Let us know what's going on. Commentary on this mic. Let me know if it sounds as good as the one that I usually use. All that stuff. We got an out and about coming your way right now. Barry, bring up the out and about and tell me what's on it. If I remember, it's the.
You want to walk first.
Yeah, let's do that one.
There you go.
Is it up? I'm tuning. It's up. Check that photo out, folks. You see that? That's the great Al Petman. Al is a photographer up here. I think he's a displaced city guy. He's done lots of work with great Canadian bands over the years, and we're happy to have him in the area these days. And he comes out to shows and he takes photos, and he's done some band photos for us, like the End of the World stuff out in front of the Aaron, and he's done lots of stuff with me and my daughter and stuff. But that was one. That was me walking towards the stage from the dressing room to the Willow Hill stage before the William Prince show, and just a great shot. And that just led to an amazing William Prince evening, and getting to know Nikki, his tour manager, sound person, front of house, everything. She's an amazing lady, and she's incredibly really good at what she does. Her job, man, she had William sounding so good in that field out there. But they had the next day off, so they came and hung out. We shot the Whiskey Wednesday show, and we sat by the pool, and then we went to see Eve Parker Finley at West Bend with her band, who I think are mostly from Montreal, but I think one of them is from Ottawa, because Nikki knew the drummer. So we had a great time at that show. That was amazing. It reminded me of Roxy Music throughout the evening. I kept thinking, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard a band playing original music like since '87. Like, I've heard a lot of new bands come out that sound like The Cure or sound like The Smiths or sort of sound like R.E.M. But I hadn't heard somebody that sort of is riding that Roxy Music line. And I was just listening to it. I was thinking, this is really groovy stuff. Eve has put together a fantastic collection of folk for that. And Ben was on stage as well. They did some improvs on bird calls, which was incredible. And the nature stuff they do at West. But they recorded bird calls in the wild, and then they have a jazz improv based on the tonality of the bird call, the sort of the rhythm and the pitch and the notes involved. And it was really, really neat. And to be sitting in this big sort of wilderness, hearing bird calls through a PA, and then hearing natural bird calls, and then hearing this band kind of improvise bird calls. It was just spectacular. I loved it. And then the next night, Julian Taylor was in town, and that was, what a show. I haven't had a chance to catch up with Julian in a couple of years, since before COVID, I think. We did that thing for CD Baby, and anyways, he was in town. he's been busy, I'd been busy, we were both kind of tired, so it was Sunday, we didn't hang as much as we'd hoped, but it was an amazing show.
The guy would have played all night.
It was one of those nights, yeah. Carry him away. The mosquitoes get pretty bad at about 9:30 at West Bend. Well, that's just when it gets dark in Ontario and with the heat, but we had like a great solid 90-minute set from Julian, and he was just playing all kinds of wonderful stuff and telling great stories. Really nice night. Anyways, you'll be hearing more about all those people. Add an anniversary into that. Cassidy was home as well. My sister did come to visit. She hung out. She was working a job somewhere up this way, and her hotel was in Belleville. So on the way to the hotel, she dropped in, and while she was here, she got the address for where her actual job was, and it was closer than she thought. So she ended off hanging out here for the night, which was awesome. Got to hang out with my sister. And then there's the butter chicken, which we have for after the show tonight, because last week Mr. Grant was talking about the butter chicken, so tonight we ordered some dinner. I ordered a butter chicken for after the show. So we've got butter chicken poutine.
Yes.
So we've got a butter chicken poutine for our snack after the show. I thought you'd like that. So thinking of you, Mr. Grant.
It was awfully good.
Well, we'll see how tonight's fares. See if it was the same one. I will disclose discuss the name of the company after we've decided on the taste and the experience. When you're drunk and you got no place to go, and you don't want the sleep to bring tomorrow, I'm still easy to find. So if you feel inclined, it's alright. Sometimes you find me on your mind. When you've had enough and you're feeling all alone, just you and the echoes in your home, reach out and call. It won't hurt me at all to know that sometimes you find me on your mind. Help me out, boys. Many miles apart, trying to make a brand new start. It's not been easy, but I'm still doing fine. I'm thinking about you and I'm still on your mind. Oh, Joe Murray watching from your off-grid island. Very cool. Very cool. I'd like to be on an off-grid island right now. I kind of am here in this house anyways, yeah. How's it going, Barry? You're not hearing Mr. G. Oh no.
He's got poutine throat. That's
He's got poutine throat. He's thinking about it too much. When you're lonely, feeling restless late at night, and you find you just keep doing what ain't right, reach out and call. It won't hurt me at all to know that sometimes you find me on your mind. Many miles apart, trying to make a brand new start. It's not been easy, but I'm still doing fine. I'm thinking about you and I'm still on your mind. Actually, next week is Julian Taylor, now that I think about it. Yeah, he's got a new album coming out. I played a couple songs from it, just beautiful. I won't say which song he's gonna do yet, but it'll be fun. And every now and then you come to mind, and it makes me search for something I can't find, and then it disappears. The pain in all those years, I know that sometimes you find me on your mind. Many miles apart, trying to make a brand new start. It's not been easy, but I'm still doing fine. I'm thinking about you and I'm still on your mind. I'm thinking about you and I'm still on your mind. I'm thinking about you and I'm still on your mind. Very nice, a little on your mind.
So, Mr. Grant, you got this brand new bass going on here, basically. Basically. See what I did there? Yeah, you caught that, eh? You know, didn't tickle your fancy.
Very bass humor.
Very good. Hey, Lorna, it sounds like you're having the perfect night. You got a joint on the front porch. Terry's got his whiskey and loudly on the speaker. Actually, that's fantastic. I hope your neighbors are you know, on par with what you're doing. I'm missing something off this. Where's she after going there? Come on. There we are. Oh, just so different. So, Mr. Grant, also tonight we've got you plugged into the Ashdown, this RM500. What a cool little groovy amp, eh?
Sounds great.
And you haven't done much to it, eh? I mean, there's a tiny little bit of compression on there, but otherwise, like, you're just kind of carved in a tone, and it sounds pretty awesome, eh? It's got a nice point to it. Pretty groovy. We put it on the other side of the room from us so that we can kind of get a sound for it. It's got a really nice bright feel to it. Like at some points, it sounds like the way the Galen Kruger sounded when they were really new, like the RB800s. Had that really nice bright tone. I bet if you played some slap on it, I know you don't play slap, and attempting it would be something that would probably not go down so well. But I bet it does sound really groovy, and with a pick, I bet it'll cut through anything. But with fingers, we didn't have to do much to the sound to get it to work. There's a little video on the specs here. Barry, do you want to hit them with that? Coming at you here, ladies and gentlemen.
Folks,
This is
today
our
we're
Gear
looking at
Talk.
the Ashdown Rootmaster RM500 Evo 2. Great little bass amp. It's not exactly compact like some of the other ones I've been showing you, but it's not big either. It's got a couple 10s in it, which are groovy. It's got a nice 5-band EQ. It's got compression and drive. It's also got a sub feature here. You turn that on, it's just kind of like a sub pedal. I don't know, you know, for those of you who might want to use it. 2 inputs, passive and active as always. Nice little VU meter there. It's got a contour shape like a lot of amps do. It's a pretty groovy rig. Let's just take a little look at the back here. It's got everything you need, your standard power. What's this here? It's got an FX send, which is cool. It's got a headphone out, which I don't know why you would need that in such a large amp, but maybe you do. You can change the speakers, put in a different cabinet. It's got a DI built into it, which is nice too. It's a clean sounding DI. The only thing I didn't like about it was when I turned it on, it wasn't making any audible noise. On the back, there's this little button for the headphones to turn them on and off. Usually with a headphone amp type of thing, when you plug in the headphones, it will sort of bypass the main speaker, but this here has a button to turn it on and off. I guess that's, I don't know, I don't use headphones with my amplifiers very often, so, but I had to disengage that to get the amp to power, so that was the only thing I didn't really like about it, but that's my own problem. It's got a nice carrying handle, and it's in a nice place on the amp, so it makes it easy to move. It's a groovy looking amp, the Ashdown RM500 Evo 2. Mr. Grant will be playing this all night tonight. You'll get to hear all the groovy tones out of it. Cheers.
Cool. Still tuning. I had a full 2 minutes there. I had a full 2 minutes and I'm still tuning. We just had a little technical thing here too, changing over some microphone cables so we can hear Mr. Grant again. Do we have Mr. Grant there again yet, Barry? Is that something that's happening? Cool.
Hello, can
Yeah.
you hear me now?
Excellent. Barry, you're so good at this. It is so amazing having Barry, you know, tech with us at shows and help us with front of house when we're doing small events that we go out to do every now and again. And just being around every Wednesday to do all this stuff, man, it's just amazing. Makes my life so much easier. Thank you, Barry.
And by extension, hours.
True, yeah, because if I don't have a good night, I take it out on you guys. I get real
That's
bitchy.
exactly right.
I start looking at you every time you make a mistake, and before I know it, my neck is sore from going back and forth.
And I think I now have, you know, the skin on my back's totally healed. So once again, thank you.
It is a song called Kiss an Angel Good Morning by Charlie Pride. I'll send this out to my Aunt Betty and all the aunts back home. I know they all listened to Charlie Pride growing up, as my mom did as well. So send this out to my Aunt Betty and my mom and all the other ladies from the family. One, two, 1, 2, 3.
I chanced to meet some old friends on the street. They asked me, how does a man get to be this way? You've always got a smiling face, anytime and any place. The answer is in this song that I always sing. You've got to kiss an angel good morning, let her know you'll think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. Some people, they try to guess the secret of my happiness, but some of them never learn. It's a simple thing. The secret I'm speaking of is a woman and a man in love, and the answer is in this song, as I always sing. You've got to kiss an angel good morning, let her know you'll think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. Kiss an angel good morning, let her know you'll think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. That's a fun one. Oh God, there was that laugh again. There was that laugh again. I did that a few weeks ago, and Allison kept playing it for me over and over again and making fun of me. And I just did it again. It's so weird. Okay.
I just realized who it sounds like. That British comedian?
Jim Jeffries. That's what it is. It's his inhaling laugh that he talked about. That thing that he did.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of what it is, but that's weird that that's come out.
Yeah, please stop. It's very annoying.
Maybe he has a new Netflix special that's coming or something, and this is his way of letting people know. Anybody who's watched his past stuff, they start to laugh like him for 60 days in advance of his new Netflix special. We should start a hashtag, Jim Jeffries Laugh. Just have people imitating it. That's kind of cruel, though. But he makes fun of it. So I'm just sort of talking about what he talks about on the show. He talks about his laugh. He talks about it being an inhaling laugh and how it's... yeah. Anyways, that might become part of it. When I was a teenager, I had a cousin, Freddie. Freddie and Michael. Freddie had a laugh, too, a really high-pitched laugh, and after spending a summer with him, I sort of adopted his laugh, which was weird, and I don't know why I would be adopting Jim Jeffries' laugh.
Richard's got a great idea. He said we should record that laugh instead of the gold call.
Yes, that's just what we need, just what we need. What does it sound like these days? Yeah, it sounds good through the amp. Sounds good through that Trainer amp. What am I using tonight? I'm back to the YGL one. This is my go-to. This is my go-to, especially for the Whiskey Wednesday show, because we're quiet here. It's a low wattage amp. I can get it to sound real nice. And yeah, that Ashdown, man, what a great rig that is. I like that. You know, I wonder about the in the days of in-ears now and all these micro amps that you can carry around that are 200 watts. You know, sometimes these amps, I often wonder, why would you get that? But then when you plug it in, it's just like, that's why. That's why, because this is what you want your bass to sound like when you hear it. This is, and you know, you put a mic in front of that or DI it, and no matter what you do with it, it's going to go into a PA and get into a mix, and it's not what people are going to hear. But what you want to hear is, you know, something like that. It's a really nice, tight combo. It's a beautiful gigging amp, and it's not that heavy.
And G loves it because it's Paul's choice.
Oh, was this Paul's choice as well? Yeah?
Paul McCartney, yeah, he used Ashdowns.
Oh, well, that's groovy too. That's groovy too. We got part 2 of the Jane Archer and the Reaction Aries video coming up in 8 seconds. And the reason I say 8 seconds is because I think that's about as long as it's going to take Barry to scroll over and find it. And we should be right about here, ladies and gentlemen.
What's the next song?
All right, this is a 1953 song by Ray Anderson, and he takes direct aim at Joe Stalin in this song. It's called Stalin Kicked the Bucket.
Okay.
Well, Stalin kicked the bucket, he's long gone. He won't worry us from now on. He lived in a place they call Moscow. His number came up and he had to go. Well, old Joe's dead and gone. He stayed around too long.
Nobody came to save his hide when old Joe laid right down and died.
Old Joe won't worry us no more. He killed the helpless by the score. Now I hope he's satisfied, since old Joe's taking his last ride. Yes, old Joe's dead and gone. He stayed around too long.
Nobody came to save his hide when old Joe laid right down and died.
While near the end he couldn't talk. He's paralyzed and he couldn't walk. He died with a hemorrhage in the brain. They got a new fireman on the devil's train. Well, old Joe's dead and gone. He stayed around too long.
Nobody came to save his hide when old Joe laid right down and died.
Although he was a man of power, he was scared of Eisenhower. So now the devil, he can retire. They got a new fireman on keeping the fire. Old Joe's dead and gone. He stayed around too long.
Nobody came to save his hide when old Joe laid right down and died.
Fantastic. Woo!
Screwed up the lyric.
Well, thank you all very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. I'm so looking forward to doing a new record. I think it's going to be great. We'll get at that as soon as you're ready, and that'll probably be end of the summer, the fall.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's what we're thinking.
We're ready for it here. It's going to be great. And I look forward to seeing you this summer. Anything else you guys have coming up that you want to talk about or promote? Or David, what do you do now? You say you're like the weed king?
Yeah, I grow some weed at a company in Peterborough.
Oh, you're growing for a legal company, eh?
Yeah, it's a legal company.
And you're the weed king?
Yeah,
You're the guy?
I'm legally the master grower.
The master grower?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Did you ever think that was where you were going to be?
Not one thought went into that. Yeah.
Does it pay well?
Pays better than poverty.
That's
so
fantastic.
yeah.
Better than poverty. I love it. And Jane, you're up to the same thing, just sort of
Yeah,
taking
I
care
do.
of everything.
I do some bookkeeping and try and keep my our gardening operation going. We got the greenhouse there now, and we're starting to get lots of stuff, and doing music when I can.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's the way it
so
should be.
I love all genres, and I'm open to trying just about anything.
Well, now that the three of you are on your way, it's going to be fantastic. And Em, you're still playing with. Do people call you Em?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, that's
I love
that
it.
sort of came out, and I wasn't sure if that was right or not.
No, it makes me feel a good bond with you.
There you
Just
go.
that you
There
said
you
that.
go. So you're doing the stuff with the Weber Brothers and your solo stuff, and you're playing with some other bands as well.
Yeah, I think I got a date with Rita Shirelli's this year.
Oh, nice.
Very
That's a good
cool.
one.
Yeah. Just playing a lot, just a lot of playing.
And you do the
good.
Women's Blues Review
Yeah.
in Toronto every year, right?
Yeah.
That's
It's
fantastic.
at
That's
Massey Hall
fantastic.
this year.
I keep seeing so much great stuff from you online. It's amazing to see young musicians come up and doing it the way that you are. And I hope calling you a young musician isn't
I'll take it.
take
I'll
away
take
from you. No, it's fantastic. It's hard to find young musicians that are coming up and doing it nowadays. A lot of people
a lot of the younger people don't really know band music, right? My
Yeah.
daughters and stuff. I mean, I take them to see bands at the Air Canada Centre. There's no band on stage. It's dancers and a couple people singing, right? I mean,
Nice.
they're not used to seeing bands, so I love seeing younger people coming up. It just gives you that feeling like, oh, it's not going to end. This is great.
Bluegrass is
Keep going.
popular.
It will never die.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all very much for coming on the show. The Whiskey Wednesday show is so happy to have you all here, and I look forward to doing more work with you in the future.
It's certainly
Thanks a lot,
our
Ken.
pleasure to be here. Appreciate
Yeah.
the invitation, and yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Thank you very
And
much.
yeah,
We'll
it's
see
all
you
good.
before too long.
You betcha.
Barry just said we're back, I think. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
That's fantastic. What happened while Jam was happening? What a I just watching David and Emily play together is so amazing. They've both got complementary styles. They're very similar, but they're just sort of weaving a line together. It's fantastic. Yeah. Anyways, lots of fun with Reactionaries. Link for Jane's music. They have a Facebook page, Jane Archer and the Reactionaries. Jane Archer and the Reactionaries on Spotify, all that stuff. I'll post all that stuff tomorrow when I get a chance. I will do that. I'll post a bunch of videos and stuff and links for her stuff.
And Ron Emily Burgess is quite a renowned blues guitarist.
Yeah, she's quite fantastic. They're all great. I'm gonna play this song for you now. What song is this? I said we were gonna do. Oh, this one, right? No, actually, we made a change, Barry, without telling you. Oh, did we tell Mr. Grant? We're gonna play that Weaker Thans tune. Tournament of Hearts. Now the lounge is full of foreigners for the 7:30 draw. Teammates all left before they had to buy a round. When they pull the 50-50 and I lose again, I'll go. Maybe have one more brown one for the snowy road. And the championship banners going yellow on the wall. Add my name when it gets closer to last call. And Elvira brings my bottle, hold it up and let it bend. Figures of two ranks battling an extra end. And I'm peeling off my label as they peel a corner guard. Dance down the sheet to the tune of Hurry, Hurry Hard. And my popcorn squeaks a question, wonders why I'm not at home. Will you wait beside a silent telephone? Doodle circles within circles all alone. I have to stop myself from climbing on a table full of empties to yell why can't I draw right up to what I wanna say? Why can't I stop where I wanna stay? Slide right through our days. I'm always throwing halfway. Never, 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 never. Never, 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 never. Right off. No, never, 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 never. Right off. Never, 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 never. Right off. Never. Right off, no, never, 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 never. Right off, no, never, never, never. And the senior Bonspiel winners, circa 1963.
or staring, glaring disapprovingly from the frame that old photograph of me. I know you're out there waiting for an answer I can't give, so tell me why can't I draw right up to what I wanna say? Why can't I ever stop where I wanna stay? Roll right through our years, drift right through our months, slide right through our days. I'm always throwing hackway. Never, 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 right off. No, never, 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 right off. No, never, 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 right off. No, never, 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 never. Fun. So there's some consideration being given to the having Whiskey Wednesday be live on location. We've been talking about it a lot, and as you all know, as I get new ideas, I bounce them around with the people around me. And I mean, Allison first.
Location other than this one, you mean?
Yeah, like, and the question that we're having is, do we start to bring it to bars in venues in cities, or do we stick with kind of a more traditional sort of house concert type thing, where we can, sort of still record and maybe even broadcast it for your friends and shit? I guess we could do it all. But these are the things we wonder. And like, I'm curious for the people who watch this, like, is this something you'd like to bring to your town? The Whiskey Wednesday show, like bring it in on a non-Wednesday night. Bring the Whiskey Wednesday in on a Friday night to, your little hamlet of Aurora, Ontario. Or is it Elora?
No, it's Aurora. Well, there is an Elora as well.
Which one am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
How can you not know?
I don't know. I just haven't hung around with
Which one do you think I'm thinking of?
I think you're thinking of...
Albot. That's
exactly. Actinolite.
I'm going to go with Elora because I can't say Aurora.
You can't say Aurora?
I have trouble saying that word. It's like my mouth is full of marbles.
And there's Eudora too, right?
Oh, there is. Yes.
True.
Which is just, a little bit east
And on
of
either
us,
side of it,
so
Uindoa.
So there's,
There's Europa.
Europa. There's that too.
Yeah.
And there's
Europa, my
Utopia.
old friend, will be the pirate twins again. Europa, oh my God. Thomas Dolby, you ever see that? You could take what I did and just put it right on with the record and it would sync up perfectly. Thomas Dolby from the golden age of science. I'm tuning up to do that Coulter Wall tune. That Coulter Wall tune, 13 silver dollars.
Oh yeah.
Feels like a fun one to do. Barry, where are we in the list of things that I had to talk about? Has Allison texted you to remind you about anything I've missed?
I think we've actually got them all.
I think we've done them all too.
You got Julian Taylor next week, right?
Next week I have Julian Taylor. There's a banner for that, which you probably put up already because I would have forgotten.
We had it up once, but-
There you go. Yeah, next week is Julian Taylor. We're getting together on Friday, and we're gonna have a chat. And like I said, I got some video from West Bend and some studio stuff from him, or not studio, but like the usual, person on a couch video from him as well, which I'm really looking forward to. Man, he was so good. Some of his new stuff, he's digging into deep territory, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Murder 13, that was quite a song.
Yes, it certainly was. It was a cold and cruel evening, sneaking up on the Speedy Creek. I found myself out sleeping in the cold. For one or two odd reasons I ain't too proud to repeat. For now we'll say I had no place to go. It was a rustle and a humming, just a hauling down the streets. I drew myself up from my icy bed, painted painted on that shiny car, the letters R, C, M, and P. I could feel a little aching in my head. Then jumps out this old boy about twice the size of me. He asked me for my name and where I dwelt. I just looked him in the eye and sang Blue Yodel number 9. He didn't catch the reference, I could tell. Then that old familiar click and the handcuffs bind and grip. Should have left me in the snow where I lay. He just laughed and touched his gun and turned to me and said, son, I bet you don't own a damn thing to your name. Well, I got my health, my Gumby Stetsons, got a bottle full of baby's bluebird wine. I left my stash somewhere down in Preston, along with 13 silver bottles and my mind. I got my health, my John B. Stetsons, got a bottle full of baby's bluebird wine. I left my stash somewhere down in Preston, along with 13 silver bottles and my mind. Push at the end. One of these days. That's one that we just recently learned for when Andrew Younghusband was on the show. And it's kind of stuck around as a fun one that we kind of like. Crazy light show. Oh, really? You got the light show happening, eh? I don't see the lightning here yet. Sure, it's not the mushrooms you've been eating?
Well, Tony's a little bit west of us. So.
Well, we just finished our bottle of Auchentoshan tonight.
Oh my, that goes quickly, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Somehow or the other.
And
It's all your fault, I think.
after the Auchentoshan is gone, we move on to a bottle that Jeff brought us. Jeff brought us a really nice bottle of whiskey or scotch, actually. It's the one that's got that steel label on it.
It's a Kentucky bourbon.
Is it a
isn't
bourbon?
I think
There was a
is, yeah.
moonshine. I brought the moonshine up for us to try, but I've been slowly going through it on my own. It's kind of like drinking.
By yourself?
Cough syrup?
No, it's like drinking maple syrup, like really good, but like diluted with alcohol maple syrup. It's lovely stuff. It's called Reunion Moonshine. This is the French toast alcoholic beverage.
Yes. French toast flavor.
I'm probably not supposed to be putting liquor on TV. Not that this is TV, but the YouTube is the TV when my wife watches it downstairs because it's on the TV. So, isn't anything that is on the television considered TV?
Governed by the CRTC.
I don't know. But YouTube is on the TV, but is it on the television? It's not on the programming of the country. It's on the programming of the world. See? Where are these laws coming from? Who's taking care of all this for us, Neil?
Nobody.
Somebody has to be taking care of us.
Sorry, it's just all outlaws.
Well, then why are they all watching us so many times? Right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like 9 phones pointed at us. Always there.
They're listening. That's the scary
I know. Well, all I know is there's no sense in asking. Is this the end of the world? Be good, be nice, be friendly. I came up with it, it was like 2 weeks ago, I said it at the end of the night, and I went, that's it, that's what I've been looking for, and I forgot it. I still have to go back, I asked Allison when she was watching if she could keep an ear out for it, and she never heard it. It wasn't be nice, that's treat people with kindness, that's what's his name? My daughter Caitlin's favorite singer, Harry Smiles. And yeah, he's great at what he does, but TPWK, I love it, but it's already gone. But I said it a few weeks ago. It sort of came out in a ramble of words that kind of made sense to some people. Thanks for tuning in for another Whiskey Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. It has been amazing. I've had a fun time. It's been a great night. Neil, what's new in your world? How you enjoying this?
This little Epiphone Frontier, I absolutely love this
Yeah.
guitar. This is playing kind of crazy.
You've been sort of strumming it all week. You've been falling in love with it,
It's-
haven't you?
It's a $1,200 guitar, which, relatively speaking, is more expensive than most
Yeah?
Epiphones. But it sounds absolutely great. It looks good, and it's just a brilliant instrument.
And it is part of the master bill, right?
Yes, master built. However, Indonesian built. They do also have a Frontier that's made at the Gibson plant in Bozeman, Montana, but it's like $4,000 or something.
Man, you know, if the
This
guitar is good, it's
man,
good.
a
It's simple, right?
fabulous little guitar.
I love the simplicity of it.
nice.
I've seen some of the $4,000 ones, and they get a little elaborate on the fretwork and stuff. And, some of the other ones get. I love this. I don't know. It's a groovy one.
Yeah, it
Glad
is.
you're playing that.
Great guitar. Thoroughly enjoy it. You can't have it back, Jeremy. Sorry.
Thanks again for tuning in. I didn't post it, but there's a tip jar somewhere in the link that you can find if you feel like helping out with the expenses of the show, helping us to deliver a quality event every week. This is a song. It's called "End of the World." It goes just like this. 1, 2, 3. I don't want to hear about your new sensation. I don't want to reconnect my old relations. I don't want to hear your frustrations all of the time. It doesn't take a genius to see that she's a girl. It doesn't take a genius to rule a broken world. It doesn't take a genius to ignore the facts all of the time. There's no sense in asking, is this the end of the world? We'll know it's over when it's done. There's so many ways I pictured in my head, but I never saw this one. Close truths are dangerous, rumors and lies, far from the truth and nobody's surprised. We're all too busy watching Peaky Blinders all the time. It doesn't hurt sometimes to look inside your door, and sometimes it's okay to clean your dirty floors. Just remember to wash your hands all of the time. There's no sense in asking, is this the end of the world? We'll know it's over when it's done. There's so many ways I pictured in my head, but I never heard this one. Asking, is this the end of the world? We'll know it's over when it's done. There's so many ways I pictured in my head, but I never saw this one. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next week. Mr. Grant, thank you for coming out. Mr. Neil Lucy, thank you for being here. Stephen was having a busy day today with the children, and he's been getting out and doing some amazing things. And he's been playing a lot with us. And I was talking to him later in the day, and he was feeling a little not up to full strength. And just said, "Stay home, my friend. The three of us got it." Man, you're going through what he's going through. You're bound to get tired, right? And he's living the life. Summer's here. He's trying to enjoy this break between treatments. So that's why Steve's not here tonight. He's doing grand. He's having a lot of fun. He's waiting for reports from the doctors at this point to come back and see what's next. So we're always thinking about him, and we miss him when he's not here. And Barry, thank you for coming over as well as always. Thank you for Lucas from Longtooth to bring. Oh, okay. So Mr. Grant, what's the deal on the ice cream?
Mango ice
cream
IPA.
beer.
It's quite pleasant, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like something you really wouldn't want to go near.
It is a little misleading in the
It's called
name.
Mango Ice Cream IPA from Longtooth, but mostly it tastes like beer.
Okay.
Well, nice.
Well,
A
that's
little
good.
bit of like dessert in there, a little
Yeah.
dessert flavor.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Beer and dessert, yeah.
That
I
makes
guess you
sense.
could do worse, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Longtooth do have some new ones. They also have one down there, which I can't remember. It's another IPA. We'll try that one next week. But I thought I'd put Mr. Grant on the hook for this one tonight. This is the what is this again? The Mango Ice Cream IPA. Yeah, I'm not an IPA guy, and I don't like mangoes. It's like I saw it and I went, I'm gonna give that one to Mr. Grant.
But you like ice cream, so.
I love ice cream, but
So
I
it's
thought
kind
that
of
would be the
one out of
last
three.
ingredient in there.
Once again, thanks for spending
Anyways, but
another
thanks for
Wednesday
getting us
with
some
here
Longtooth
at
Lager and some Pale Ale for Barry over there. And we will be seeing you all very soon. Be good, be well. Love you. Next week, Julian Taylor. This week, I think I got nothing on this week. So nice, just a rest. Maybe get some last songs written before we start recording this record. Okay, it's been nice to make some music with you and hang out with you all again. We will talk to you all very soon. Take care. Be well.
Once again, thanks for spending another Wednesday with us here at Storyhouse Studios. Thanks to Trainer, Yorkville, and the Longtooth Beverage Company for being a part of the show. We love our time on the Whiskey Wednesday show and appreciate all of your support. Don't forget to hit up the tip jar if you feel so inclined. Never expected, but always appreciated. Tune in every week for more guests, songs, stories, drinks, and gear talk. And don't forget to visit the website, www.kentizzard.com, to sign up for the Whiskey Wednesday wrap-up. Compiled by Allison, this is a monthly overview with highlights, directories of songs, and so much more. Be kind, be helpful, be happy, be safe. See you next week.
On a Jim Beam.